Good morning. This is Mrs. Morgan's from Taylor's Tiny Treats. We're doing another how-to video. I have a request for old-fashioned gingerbread today, in addition to peach cobblers and banana custard. You see me make banana custard, and you saw the filling last night for the peach cobblers. So I'm gonna get started here. I have soft butter. I keep butter at room temperature most days because I cook or bake every day almost. And so it's already being creamed with the sugar. This recipe only takes a half a cup of sugar, 1 stick of butter. It's a half a cup. And it takes about a cup of molasses. So that's where your sugar is gonna, your sweetness is gonna come from, but it's not overly sweet. It's not overly sweet. Also, this one thing I do when I was a child, I hated gingerbread. I couldn't stand gingerbread cookies. I couldn't figure out what was the issue. I figured it out when I started making them myself. I don't like the taste of cloves. So when the recipe, any recipe, requires cloves, I substitute. What do I put? Nutmeg. If the recipe calls for nutmeg, I'll just double it because I like that taste, but the bite on cloves is just too much for me. And most of my students, they like my gingerbread, and everybody who's had my gingerbread cake loves it, and that's the only thing I do differently. So let me get started and mix everything up, and we'll be I'm sorry, tongue-tied here today. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I've creamed together my sugar and my butter. I'm adding 1 egg. Remember I told you, always crack your egg in a bowl and a clear bowl so you can see if any shells went in there. If you dump it in your butter mixture, you're not gonna find that, okay? Also, like I said before, this recipe will take molasses, and this takes a cup of molasses, and my cup is in my dishwasher. I know you hear it over there. All of my measuring tools are in there, so my larger ones anyway. So we know 4 quarters makes a whole. So anyway, so I have my cup of molasses, mixing that together, and you see I'm not using a mixer. I think I shared before. I prefer a spoon or rubber spatula, and I've mixed my dry ingredients, and I sifted them. I finally had to get rid of my sifter. It was tearing apart, and I was gonna hold on to it, and I'm like, I could do better. So I invested in a little bit better one, and you just hand crank it, and it just dumped in there. So what I did was I just left a little bit in there just to show you what I did, but I liked it, and it's like it was not very expensive. I got it on Amazon. So anyways, so I went ahead and sifted it into this smaller bowl. This was two and a half cups of flour, and someone's knocking on the door. I think I have an order. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Well, it wasn't an order, but it was my grandson. I forgot his mom was bringing him by. I wanted to stop and say thank you to all of you who prayed for him yesterday. My grandson was born with sickle cell anemia, and he was in crisis yesterday, so he went to the Children's Hospital up in Macon, and he's in pain. So he's hanging out with Granny. He's laying down, but thank you for the prayers. He didn't have to be admitted. He didn't have to get a transfusion, so thank you for that. So back to my gingerbread. The last thing that has to go in, you have to put in a cup of very, very hot water. Whatever it does in the mixture, it changes the texture and the science behind it. One day I'll take the time to research it, but it makes it perfect. It makes it, it just changes it from, so see, it's like creamy. It's beginning to get creamy, and that is just from the hot water. So me and my phone, I'm not gonna sit here and hold it and try to mix it and hold the the camera, but you get the point I'm making here. So what I'm going to do is mix it really well, Mix it really well, and then I'm going to put it in already. I put parchment paper and I put baking spray on the parchment paper. We're going to bake off in a loaf pan. It's going to take about a good 45 minutes, maybe longer. So when that happens, I'm going to take it out, cool it, and then we're going to dust it with powdered sugar. And that's going to be our last part. And then we're going to decorate it. We'll be back. Hey guys, we're back. So the gingerbread has been cooled, and the customer, who's always right, decided she'd like a vanilla glaze. So let me show you what the end product looked like, or how it looked. So let's go back this way. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap it up, make it like a present, and prepare that for her order. She had also peach cobblers, which are in the oven. I have to put a banana pudding together. I made the custard last night. And I have an order for our raspberry white chocolate cream cheese cookies. I've done a lot since we've been on last. I've made a chocolate peanut butter cookie. I also made oatmeal raisin for an order, and my specialty, which is a coconut pecan cookie. My dad requested that cookie, and it has been my best seller. When I started doing this in January, he said, "Can you get me a pecan cookie?" I was like, "Yeah." Then I called him back. "You want some coconut in there?" He was like, "Yes." And so it's been my top seller. Well, anyway, I'll be back after I finish wrapping the present. All right, guys. Well, my present is wrapped, so I'm going to go ahead and the end product. I think it's okay. Could have been better, but I'm working on it. My next step is to make sure I get her cobblers out of the oven so they're golden brown and beautiful and buttery. I love my homemade crust. I bragging on my own crust, y'all. It's old school. Has to be homemade, real butter. Then I'll put her custard with her bananas and vanilla wafers, banana pudding. Awesome. So please follow me. I even have a hashtag now. Hashtag butter lady. Hashtag peach cobbler. Hashtag banana nut bread. My son told me to do that. And also Miss McCluster. So I have a hashtag now. Follow me. Have a good day.